You see, my dear friends, the world of manifestation, that is the world of physical activity, is not the primary reality. It is, in fact, secondary to the world of imagination. Your imagination is the very workshop of creation. The place where all things begin. It is the source from which all that is made flows forth into being. And it is through the power of your imagination, harnessed and directed through visualization, that you can shake your reality to match your deepest desires. Now, I know that for many of you, this may seem like a radical concept. You have been taught from childhood that the world is a fixed, unyielding place, and that your role in it is largely that of a passive observer subject to forces beyond your control. But I am here to tell you that nothing could be further from the truth. You are not a mere spectator in the grand theater of life, but it's a thought director and star performer all rolled into one. The technique I am about to share with you is not new. It is old as consciousness itself. It has been used by the great mystic sages and creators throughout history. It is the very method by which the universe itself came into being, and yet for all its power and antiquity, it remains largely unknown or misunderstood by the vast majority of people. This technique is based on a simple yet profound principle, that which you hold in your imagination with feeling and conviction must, by the very laws of creation, manifest in your physical experience. It is not a matter of if, but when the only variable is the intensity of your belief and the clarity of your vision. Let us begin by understanding the nature of imagination itself. Your imagination is not, as many believe, a frivolous faculty useful only for daydreaming or entertaining idlenesses. It is in fact the very essence of your being. It is the God power within you, the creative force that shapes worlds. When you imagine, you're literally tapping into the same power that brings galaxies into being and sustains the weak fabric of existence. But here's the crucial point. Your imagination operates unceasingly, whether you are consciously aware of it or not. Every moment of every day, you are using this God power to create your reality. The question is not whether you are using your imagination, but how you are using it. Are you using it consciously with purpose and direction, or are you allowing it to run wild, reflecting and magnifying your fears, doubts, and limiting beliefs? The technique I am about to share with you will enable you to harness this power consciously and deliberately. It will allow you to direct the full force of your creative imagination towards the realization of your desires. And make no mistake, my friends, when applied quietly and consistently, this technique never fails. It cannot fail, for it is based on the fundamental laws of creation itself. Now, let us delve into the heart of this technique. The first step is to clearly what it is you wish to be serious. This may seem obvious, but it is a step that many overlook or rush through. You must be absolutely clear about what you want. Vague wishes or general hopes will not suffice. You must be specific and detailed in your desire. Once you have clearly defined your desire, the next step is to create a scene in your imagination that implies your desire. Create a scene in your imagination that implies the fulfillment of this desire. This is where many people falter, for they focus on the process of achieving their desire rather than the end result. But I tell you this, the how is not your concern. Your task is to focus solely on the end, on the feeling of your desire fulfilled. For example, let us say your desire is for a new home. Don't visualize the process of house hunting, securing a mortgage, or movie. Instead, create a scene that implies you are already living in your new home. Perhaps you are entertaining friends in your living room or waking up in your bedroom. The specific scene doesn't matter as long as it implies the fulfillment of your desire. Now, here's where the real power of this technique comes into play. Once you have created your scene, you must enter into it fully. You must make it so real in your imagination that it takes on the tones of reality. You must see it, feel it, touch it, smell it, hear it. Use all your senses to make this imaginal scene as vivid and real as possible. But mere visualization is not enough. The key to this technique element that makes it unfailingly effective is feeling. You must feel the reality of your imagined scene. You must generate within yourself the emotions you would experience if your desire were already fulfilled. This feeling is the secret and the power of the entire operation. You see, my dear friends, in the realm of imagination, there is no distinction between what is real and what is imagined. Your subconscious mind, which is directly connected to the creative power of the universe, cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a physical. When you combine pre-visualization with genuinely or literally experiencing your desire in a realm that is more real, more fundamental than the physical world. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Wayne, I've tried visual vision before and it didn't work. To this I say, you have not truly visualized until you have felt the reality of your imagined scene. Near mental pictures are not enough. You must feel it to be real. You must generate within yourself the conviction that what you are imagining is not a future possibility, but a present fact. This is where most people fall during their attempts at manifestation. They treat their imaginal scenes as pleasant fantasies or hopeful daydreams. But I tell you this, your imaginal acts must be as real to you as any physical experience. In fact, they must be more real, for they are the cause and physical reality is merely the ethic. Let me give you an example to illustrate this point. Suppose you desire financial abundance. Many people, when they visualize wealth, see themselves counting money or looking at a bank statement with a large balance. But these are external symbols of wealth. They do not capture the feeling of being wealthy. Instead, I want you to imagine a scene that implies the feeling of financial abundance. Perhaps you're sitting in a beautiful restaurant ordering whatever you desire without a second thought about the cost. Or maybe you're calmly writing a large check for a charitable cause dear to your heart, knowing that you have more than enough. Feel the peace, the security, the joy that comes with true financial abundance. Let these feelings permeate your entire being. When you can do this, when you can make your imaginal scene so real that it elicits genuine emotion, you are set in motion forces that must, by the very nature of creation, bring your desire to physical manifestation. For you see, my friends, the outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner world. What you hold to be true in your imagination with feeling must externalize itself in your experience. Now, I can sense that some of you are struggling with this concept. You're thinking, but Wayne, how can my imagination change external circumstances? How can it affect other people or events beyond my control? And to this, I say there are no external circumstances. There are no other people in the sense that you think of them. There is only consciousness, only imagination. This may seem like a radical statement, but I assure you it is the absolute truth. The entire universe, with all its seeming solidity and complexity, is nothing more than consciousness made visible. And your individual consciousness is not separate from the universal consciousness. It is one with it, a focal point of the infinite creative power that underlies all of existence. When you truly grasp this truth, when you internalize it and make it the foundation of your understanding, you will see that there are no limits to what you can achieve through the power of your imagination. For in reality, you are not changing external circumstances at all. You are simply shifting your consciousness. And in doing so, you shift the entire universe. Let's delve deeper into this concept, for it is crucial to understanding the full power of the technique I am sharing with you. Most people believe that their thoughts and feelings are a reaction to external circumstances. They believe that they feel happy because something good happened or sad because something bad occurred. But I tell you this, your thoughts and feelings are not the effect of circumstances. They are the cause of them. Your consciousness is the only reality. The world you experience is nothing more than your consciousness pushed out. Every person, every object, every circumstance in your life is a reflection of your own mental states. This is why two people can experience the same external event in completely different ways. It's not the event itself that determines their experience, but their consciousness. Now, I know this may be difficult to accept at first. It flies in the face of everything you've been taught about the nature of reality. But I urge you to test this principle for yourself. For when you begin to live from this understanding, you will experience a freedom and a power beyond anything you've ever known. Let's return to our technique of visualization. When you create a scene implying the fulfillment of your desire, and when you enter into that scene with full sensory vividness and genuine feeling, you are literally rearing the entire universe. You are shifting your consciousness, and in doing so, you are shifting the reflection that is your physical reality. This is why it's so crucial to persist in your imaginal act until it takes on the tones of reality. You must continue to return to your scene, to live in it and from it until it feels more real to you than your current physical circumstances. This is not always easy. It requires discipline and persistence. But I assure you the results are well worth the effort. Now, some of you may be wondering about the role of action in this process. You may be thinking, surely, Wayne, we must do something in the physical world to bring about our desires. And to this, I say inspired action will naturally flow from your shifting consciousness. When you have truly impressed your subconscious mind with the reality of desire fulfilled, you will find yourself naturally taking the right actions at the right time. But this is crucial. You must not force action from a place of lack or need. Any action taken from the belief that you need to make your desire happen is counterproductive. It stems from a lack of faith in the creative power of your imagination. Instead, allow action to arise naturally as a result of your new state of consciousness. Remember, the world is a shadow, a reflection of your inner world. When you change the inner, the outer must change to match you. This is not wishful thinking or magical thinking. It is the fundamental law of creation. It is how the universe itself operates. Now, let me address another question that often arises when I speak of this technique. Many people ask, how long will it take for my desire to manifest? And to this, I say, time is an illusion of the physical world. In the realm of imagination, where all creation takes place, there is no time. Your desire is fulfilled the moment you feel the reality of its fulfillment in your imagination. The time it takes for your desire to appear in your physical appearance depends on many factors, including the naturalness of the desire, the intensity of your feeling, and your ability to persist in the assumption of its fulfillment. But know this, the moment you have succeeded in feeling the reality of desire fulfilled, its manifestation in the physical world is assured. This brings us to another crucial aspect of this technique, detachment. Once you have impressed your subconscious mind with the reality of your desire fulfilled, you must release it. You must let go of anxiety or urgency about its manifestation. For anxiety and urgency stem from a lack of faith, from the belief that your desire is not yet yours. So instead, lie from the calm assurance that what you have experienced in imagination is now a fact. Go about your daily life from this new state of consciousness. This doesn't mean you forget about your desire. Rather, you live from the state of its fulfillment, regardless of what your physical senses are telling you. This detachment is not indifference. It is supreme confidence. It is the knowing that what you have claimed in your imagination is now yours in reality, and that its physical manifestation is merely a matter of time. This attitude of calm assurance is incredibly powerful. It aligns you with the creative forces of the universe and allows your desire to manifest with ease and grace. Now, I want to address a common pitfall that many fall into when practicing this technique. They visualize their desire, they feel its reality, and then they look to the physical world for signs of its manifestation. When they don't see immediate results, they become discouraged and doubt the process. But I tell you this, do not judge by appearances. The physical world, being the shadow of consciousness, often takes time to reflect the changes in your imagination. Your task is to persist in the assumption of your desire fulfilled, regardless of what your physical senses are telling you. Remember, your senses show you the world as it was, not as it is becoming. This persistence in the face of contrary evidence is what separates those who succeed with this technique from those who fail. It requires faith, not blind faith, but faith born of understanding. Faith in the creative power of your own imagination. Faith that what you have experienced is real in your imagination must, by the very laws of creation, manifest in your physical reality. Let me give you an example to illustrate this point. Suppose you are using this technique to manifest the promotion at work. You create a scene implying you have already received the promotion. Perhaps you imagine yourself sitting in your new office or receiving congratulations from your colleagues. You enter fully into this scene, making it vivid and real in your imagination. You feel the joy, the pride, the sense of accomplishment that comes with this promotion. Now, having done this, you go to work the next day. Nothing seems to have changed. Your boss doesn't mention anything about a promotion. Your colleagues treat you the same as always. This is where many people falter. They allow the evidence of their physical senses to negate their imaginal experience. But the person who understands the true power of this technique does not waver. They continue to live from the assumption that the promotion is theirs. They interact with their boss and colleagues from this new state of consciousness. They perform their work with the confidence and authority someone in a new position. They persist in this assumption regardless of appearances until the physical world reshapes itself to match their inner conviction. This, my dear friends, is the true test of your faith in this technique. Can you persist in the assumption of your desire fulfilled and all physical evidence that seems to contradict it? Can you remain loyal to your experience in the face of apparent failure or delay? If you can, then I assure you your success is guaranteed. For you see, this technique is not about forcing the world to bend to your will. It is about aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. It is about realizing that you are one with this power. It flows that is through you and as you. When you visualize this feeling, you are not sending out a request to some external force. You are awakening to the truth of who you really are, a creative force capable of shaping reality itself. Now, let's delve even deeper into the mechanics of this technique. When you create your scene and enter into a full sensory witness, you are doing something truly remarkable. You are literally creating a new memory. Your subconscious mind, which cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a physical one, accepts this new memory as fact. This is crucial because your subconscious mind is the part of you that is directly connected to the creative power of the universe. It is the part of you that shapes your reality according to your beliefs and assumptions. By impressing a new memory upon your subconscious, you are literally reprogramming the metrics of your reality. Think about this for a moment. Every experience you've ever had, every belief you hold, every assumption you make about the nature of reality, all of these are based on memories. They are based on past experiences that have shaped your understanding of what is possible and what is not. But what if you could create new memories? Memories of experiences you desire, but have not yet had it in the physical world. This is exactly what you're doing when you use this visualization technique correctly. You are creating a new memory of your desire fulfilled, and your subconscious mind, accepting this new memory as fact, begins to reshape your reality to match it. It influences your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, and even the actions of others around you, all to bring about the manifestation of your imagined experience. This is why it's so important to make your imaginal scene as vivid and real as possible. The more real it feels, the more readily your subconscious mind will accept it as fact. And the more completely your subconscious accepts it, the more powerfully and rapidly it will work to bring it into physical manifestation. Now, some of you may be thinking, but never, what if I can't make my imaginal scene feel real? What if I struggle to generate feeling of my desire fulfilled? To this I say practice. Like any skill, the ability to make your imaginal scenes feel real improves with practice. Start with small things. Visualize yourself enjoying a favorite meal or receiving good news. Practice feeling the reality of these simple scenes until it becomes second nature. As you become more adept at this, you can move on to larger desires. But remember, the size of the desire is irrelevant to the creative power of your imagination. In the realm of imagination, there is no distinction between big and small desires. All are equally possible, equally real. Another powerful aspect of this technique is repetition. While a single intensely real imaginal can be enough to settle the fields of manifestation in motion, repeated imaginal acts can be incredibly powerful. They serve to deepen your conviction, to make your new assumption feel more and more natural. But and this is crucial, your repetitions must not stem from a sense of lack or need. You're not repeating your imaginal act because you're trying to make it happen. You're repeating it because it's enjoyable, because living from the state of your desire fulfilled is pleasurable in itself. Each repetition should deepen your feeling of naturalness, your sense that this is simply who you are and how your world is. Now, let's address another important point. Some of you may be wondering about the ethics of this technique. You may be thinking, if I can manifest anything I desire, what's to stop me from using this power selfishly or to harm others? This is a profound question, and it speaks to the very nature of consciousness and creation. First, let me say this: true harm to another is impossible in the highest sense because there is no other in reality. We are all one consciousness individualized into seemingly separate beings. What you do to another, you do to yourself. This understanding naturally leads to an ethical use of this creative power. Moreover, as you begin to use this technique and experience its results, you will find your desires as naturally to becoming more aligned with the highest good of all. For you will realize that your joy or fulfillment is not separate from the joy and fulfillment of others. You will find yourself naturally desiring and creating experiences that uplift and benefit not just yourself, but all of consciousness. This brings us to another crucial point: the importance of your state of being. The importance of your state of being, you see, might be a friend. What you get is not always what you think you want, but always a perfect self-reflection of your state being. This is why it's so important to focus on the feeling of your desire fulfilled rather than on the external symbols of circumstances. For example, if you think you want wealth because you believe it will make you feel secure and free, focus on the feeling of security and freedom rather than on specific amounts of money. For it's entirely possible to have great wealth and still feel insecure and constrained. Conversely, it's possible to feel deeply secure and free with modest means. By focusing on the state of being you desire, you open yourself to countless ways in which the universe can deliver that state to you. This understanding also helps to dissolve any sense of conflict or competition in your manifestations. You're not trying to get something at the expense of someone else. You're simply aligning yourself with the state of being you desire and allowing the infinite creativity of the universe to breed in a way that serves the highest good of all. Now, as we near the end of our time together, I want to touch on one final crucial point. This technique, powerful as it is not merely a tool for getting things or achieving specific goals. It is, in its deepest sense, a path to self-realization. For as you practice this technique, as you experience its results, you come to a profound realization you are the creator of your reality. This realization is nothing less than an awakening to your true nature. You begin to understand that you are not a limited physical being subject to the whims of an external world. You are consciousness itself. The very substance and source of all that is. The world you experience is your consciousness made visible. As this understanding deepens, you may find your desires changing. The things you once thought would bring you fulfillment may lose their appeal. Instead, you may find yourself drawn to experiences that expand your consciousness, that allow you to express more and more of your true divine nature. This, my dear friends, is the ultimate purpose of this technique. Yes, it can bring you the things you desire in the physical world. But more importantly, it can lead you to the realization of who you truly are. It can awaken you to your own divine nature, to the limitless creative power that is your birthright. So as you go forth from here, as you begin to apply this technique in your own life, remember this: you are not merely seeking to change your circumstances. You are embarking on a journey of self-discovery. You are uncovering the truth of your own being. And in doing so, you are fulfilling the very purpose of creation itself. This is the entire universe. With all its infinite diversity and complexity, is consciousness exploring itself, experiencing itself in endless varieties of form and expression. And you, in your individual life, are the universe doing exactly that. Your desires, your imaginal acts, your experiences, all are the universe coming to know itself through you. As you use this technique, as you create and live from the stage of your desires fulfilled, you are participating consciously in this grand adventure of creation. You are aligning yourself with the very purpose of existence. And in doing so, you open yourself to experiences of joy, fulfillment one wonder beyond anything you may have previously imagined. So go forth, my beloved friends, and create. Use this technique with confidence and joy. Know that as you do so, you are not just changing your individual circumstances, but participating in the evolution of consciousness itself. You are fulfilling your divine purpose, expressing the infinite creative power that is your true nature. Remember, always your imagination is the God power within you. It is the creative force that shapes worlds. Use it wisely, use it lovingly, and use it often. For in doing so, you not only transform your own life, but you contribute to the transformation of all of creation. And know this as you embark on this journey. As you begin to live from the power of your imagination, you are never alone. The entire universe supports you in your creative endeavors. For your success, your joy, your fulfillment is the success, joy, and fulfillment of life itself. So visualize boldly, feel deeply, and persist faithfully. For as you do, align yourself with the very power that creates worlds. And that alignment, all things become possible. You become the conscious author of your life, the deliberate creator of your reality. This, my dear friends, is your birthright. This is your true nature. Claim it, live from it, and watch in wonder as your world transforms to match the beauty and power of your own divine imagination. Thank you, and may your journey of conscious creation be filled with joy, wonder, and the deep satisfaction of expressing your true divine nature, remember, always you are the operant power in your world. You are the God power made manifest. Life from this truth, and all that you desire must come to pass. For such is the law of creation, and such is the power of your own wonderful human imagination. My dear friends, let us begin by understanding what it means to be available. To be available is to be present, open, and receptive. It is to stand ready to receive the blessings of life, to engage with the world around you, and to participate fully in the dance of creation. Availability is a state of consciousness, a way of being that allows the infinite possibilities of life to flow through you and manifest in your experience. But here's the crucial point, the very essence of our discussion tonight. While you must be available, you need not, indeed you must not be available for everyone and everything. This selectivity is not about exclusion or judgment, but about aligning yourself with your highest vision, your true self, and your divine purpose. You see, my dear friends, you are the operant power in your world. You are the God of your universe, the creator of your reality. And as the creator, you have the power and the responsibility to choose what you allow into your experience. This choice is not made from a place of ego or separation, but from the understanding of your true divine nature. When you make yourself available indiscriminately, you dilute your power, you scatter your energy and attention, and in doing so, you diminish your ability to manifest your desires and fulfill your purpose. It's like trying to water an entire field with a small bucket of water. You end up with a vast expanse of parched earth rather than a thriving garden. Instead, I urge you to be selective in your availability. Choose carefully where you direct your attention, your energy, your love. This choice is not about rejecting or judging others, but about honoring your divine purpose and aligning yourself with that which resonates with your highest self. Think of it this way. You are a magnificent instrument, capable of producing the most beautiful music. But if you allow just anyone to play you, if you respond to every random pluck and strum, you'll produce nothing but noise. Instead, you must tune yourself to the divine melody within you and allow only those influences that harmonize with that melody to play upon your strings. This principle of selective availability applies to every aspect of your life. In your relationships, be available to those who uplift and inspire you, who recognize and honor your divine nature. In your work, be available to opportunities that align with your purpose and allow you to express your gifts. In your thoughts and feelings, be available to ideas and emotions that resonate with your highest vision for yourself and the world. Now, some might say, but Wayne, isn't this selfish? Shouldn't we be available to everyone to help and serve all? My dear friends, understand this. By being selectively available, you are not withholding yourself from the world. On the contrary, you're making yourself more fully available to fulfill your divine purpose. When you align yourself with your highest self, when you direct your energy and attention towards that which resonates with your divine nature, you become a more powerful force for good in the world. You become a clearer channel for the divine to express itself through you, and in doing so, you serve not just yourself, but all of humanity. Consider the sun. It doesn't make itself available to every planet in the universe. It focuses its energy on its own solar system, and by doing so, it creates the conditions for life to flourish. If the sun tried to spread its energy across the entire universe, our world would be cold and lifeless. By being selectively available, the sun fulfills its divine purpose and brings light and life to our world. You, my dear friends, are like the sun in your own universe. By being selectively available, by focusing your energy and attention on that which aligns with your highest self, you create the conditions for your desires to manifest and for your divine purpose to be fulfilled. Now, let us delve deeply into how to apply this principle in your daily life. It begins with self-awareness. You must know yourself truly and deeply. You must understand your desires, your purpose, your divine nature. This self-knowledge is not something you acquire from outside yourself. It is a remembering and awakening to the truth that has always been within you. Spend time in the silence of your own being. Listen to the still, small voice within. Feel the pulse of your deepest desires. Recognize the unique gifts that you bring to this world. As you awaken to this self-knowledge, you will naturally begin to discern what and who you should make yourself available to. Next, practice the art of conscious choice. In every moment, you have the power to choose where you direct your attention and energy. This choice is your divine right and responsibility. Exercise it wisely and deliberately. Before engaging with a person, a situation, or even a thought, ask yourself, does this align with my highest self? Does this resonate with my divine purpose? Remember, my dear friends, that your attention is your most precious resource. It is the instrument through which you shape your reality. Where your attention goes, your energy flows, and your reality grows. So be mindful of where you place your attention. Be available to that which uplifts and inspires you, that which aligns with your highest vision for yourself in the world. Now let me address a concern that may arise in your minds. You might worry that by being selectively available, you're closing yourself off from unexpected opportunities or connections. But understand, when you align yourself with your highest self, when you make yourself available to that which resonates with your divine nature, you open yourself to the infinite possibilities of the universe. It's like tuning a radio to a specific frequency. When you tune into the frequency of your highest self, you don't limit what you can receive. On the contrary, you open yourself to receive the full richness and clarity of the broadcast. You become more receptive to the divine guidance and opportunities that are in harmony with it. Moreover, by being selectively available, you create a powerful magnetic force in your life. You begin to attract people, situations, and opportunities that are in alignment with your highest self. It's as if the universe conspires to bring you exactly what you need to fulfill your divine purpose. This principle of selective availability also applies to your inner world, to your thoughts and feelings. Be available to thoughts that empower and inspire you. Be receptive to feelings that elevate and energize you. When negative thoughts or emotions arise, as they inevitably will, don't make yourself available to them. Acknowledge them, but don't engage with them. Instead, redirect your attention to thoughts and feelings that align with your desired state of being. Remember, my dear friends, that your inner world is the source of your outer reality. By being selectively available in your inner world, you shape the contours of your outer experience. You become the master of your destiny, the author of your life story. Now let us consider how this principle applies to your relationships. In your interactions with others, be available, but not indiscriminately so. Be open and receptive, but also discerning. Recognize that not every person or relationship is meant to play a significant role in your life journey. This doesn't mean you treat others with anything less than love and respect. On the contrary, by being selectively available, you honor both yourself and others. You create space for authentic, meaningful connections that serve the highest good of all involved. In your romantic relationships, be available to love, but not to just anyone who comes along. Make yourself available to a partner who recognizes and honors your divine nature, who supports and inspires your growth. In your friendships, be available to those who uplift and encourage you, who resonate with your values and aspirations in your professional life. Be available to opportunities that allow you to express your gifts and fulfill your purpose. Don't make yourself available to every job offer or business proposition that comes your way. Instead, align yourself with work that resonates with your highest self, that allows you to contribute your unique gifts to the world. Now, my dear friends, I want to address a critical point. Being selectively available does not mean being closed off or isolated. It doesn't mean building walls around yourself or living in fear of engagement. On the contrary, it means being more fully open and engaged with life, but in a way that is aligned with your highest good. Think of it as having a door to your inner world. This door is always open, allowing the flow of life to move through you, but you stand as the conscious gatekeeper, choosing what you allow to enter and take root in your experience. You aren't closing the door, but you're mindfully curating what passes through it. This selective availability requires a deep trust in yourself and in the benevolence of the universe. It requires faith that by aligning yourself with your highest self, you are serving not only your own good, but the good of all. It requires a courage to say no to that which doesn't serve your highest purpose, even when saying yes might seem easier or more comfortable in the moment. Remember, every time you say no to something that doesn't align with your highest self, you're saying yes to something that does. Every time you choose not to make yourself available to a lower vibration or a misaligned opportunity, you create space for something better to enter your life. This principle of selective availability is not about creating lack or limitation in your life. On the contrary, it's about opening yourself to greater abundance, joy, when you make yourself available only to that which aligns with your highest self. You create a clear channel for the infinite abundance of the universe to flow into your life. Consider this. The universe is infinitely abundant. There is no lack or limitation in the divine realm. By being selectively available, you're not cutting yourself off from this abundance. Instead, you're fine-tuning your receptivity to it. You're aligning yourself with a specific frequency of abundance that resonates with your unique divine purpose. Now, my dear friends, I want you to understand that implementing this principle of selective availability is a practice. It's not something you achieve once and for all, but something you cultivate and refine day by day, moment by moment. It requires constant awareness and conscious choice. There will be times when you falter, when you find yourself available to people, situations, or thoughts that don't serve your highest good. When this happens, don't judge or condemn yourself. Simply notice what's happening. Gently disengage and redirect your attention, energy to that which aligns with your highest self. Remember, you are in a process of awakening to your true divine nature. This awakening doesn't happen overnight. It unfolds gradually like the blooming of a flower. Each time you choose to be selectively available, you're nurturing this awakening. You're reinforcing your connection to your highest self and strengthening your ability to manifest your desire. As you practice selective availability, you'll begin to notice profound changes in your life. You'll find that your relationships become more meaningful and fulfilling. Your work will become more aligned with your purpose and more satisfying. Your inner world will become more peaceful and harmonious. You'll also notice that you have more energy, more clarity, and more joy in your life. This is because you're no longer dissipating your energy by being available to everything and everyone. Instead, you're focusing your energy on that which truly matters, on that which aligns with your divine purpose. Moreover, you'll find that your manifestation power increases dramatically. When you're selectively available, you create a clear, unobstructed channel for your desires to manifest. You're no longer sending mixed signals to the universe. Instead, you're broadcasting the clear, consistent message aligned with your highest vision for yourself and your life. Now, Let me address another aspect of this principle. Being selectively available also means being fully present and engaged when you do choose to make yourself available. It means bringing the fullness of your being to each interaction, each task, each moment that you've consciously chosen to engage with. When you're with someone you've chosen to be available to, be fully there. Listen deeply. Engage wholeheartedly. Bring the full light of your awareness to the interaction. When you're working on a task that aligns with your purpose, immerse yourself in it completely. This full presence, this total engagement, is what allows you to experience the richness and depth of life. Remember, my dear friends, that life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. By being selectively available, you create more of these breathtaking moments. You curate a life filled with experiences that truly matter, interactions that truly touch your soul. Now, I want to address a question that may be arising in your minds. You might be wondering, but Wayne, how do I know what to make myself available to? How do I discern what aligns with my highest self and what doesn't? The answer, my dear friends, lies within you. It lies in the feeling nature of your being. When something or someone aligns with your highest self, you'll feel it. There will be a sense of rightness, a feeling of expansion, quickening your spirit. On the other hand, when something doesn't align, you'll feel a contraction. Learn to trust these inner feelings. They are the language of your soul, the guidance system of your divine nature. As you practice listening to and trusting these inner promptings, you'll develop an ever clearer sense of what to make yourself available to and what to politely decline. Remember, this discernment is not about judgment. It's not about labeling things as good or bad. It's simply about recognizing what resonates with your unique frequency, what aligns with your specific divine purpose. What's right for you may not be right for someone else, and vice versa. Honor your own inner guidance while respecting the paths of others. Now, let's consider how this principle of selective availability relates to the law of assumption, which, as you know, is fundamental to the art of conscious creation. When you assume a state, when you live from the end, you are, in essence, making yourself available to that state. You're tuning your consciousness to the frequency of your desire fulfilled. By being selectively available, you're focusing your assumption power. You're not diluting it by assuming conflicting states or by making yourself available to states that don't align with your desires. Instead, you're consistently assuming the state of your wish fulfilled, making yourself fully available to it, in closing yourself off to contradictory states. This focused availability dramatically accelerates the manifestation of your desires. It's like directing the full force of a river through a narrow channel rather than allowing it to spread out and lose its power. When you make yourself selectively available to the state of your wish fulfilled, you create a powerful current of manifestation that can move mountains. Consider this. Every time you make yourself available to a thought, a feeling, or an experience that aligns with your desire, you're strengthening your assumption of the wish fulfilled. Every time you choose not to engage with something that contradicts your desire, you're protecting and reinforcing your assumption. This is why selective availability is so powerful. It's not just about what you choose to engage with, but also about what you choose not to engage with. Both are equally important in shaping your reality. Now, my dear friends, I want to address a common misconception. Some people believe being selectively available means being aloof or disconnected from the world. Nothing could be further from the truth. Being selectively available actually allows you to engage more deeply and meaningfully with life. When you're not dissipating your energy by being available to everything and everyone, you have more to give to what truly matters. You can be more present, more engaged, more alive in the moments and relationships that align with your highest self. Moreover, by being selectively available, you become a clearer channel for the divine to express itself through you. You become a more powerful force for good in the world. Your very presence becomes a blessing to others. Even if you're not directly engaging with them, think of it this way. A lighthouse doesn't move around trying to guide every ship in the ocean. It stands firm in its position, shining its light consistently. Ships that need guidance are naturally drawn to its light. In the same way, when you stand firm in your highest self, consistently shining the light of your true nature, those who need what you have to offer will naturally be drawn to you. This is the paradox of selective availability. By making yourself less available in a general sense, you become more powerfully available in the ways that truly matter. You become a beacon of light, a source of inspiration and transformation for those who resonate with your frequency. Now, let's consider how this principle applies to your spiritual practice. In your meditation, in your prayers, in your contemplation, be selectively available. Open yourself fully to the divine within you. At the same time, close yourself off to distractions, to doubts, to limiting beliefs. When you sit in the silence, make yourself available to the still, small voice within. Listen for the whispers of your soul. Be receptive to the guidance of your higher self, but don't make yourself available to the chatter of your ego mind, to the fears and worries that may try to intrude. This selective availability in your spiritual practice will deepen your connection to your divine nature. It will enhance your ability to receive inspiration and guidance. It will accelerate your spiritual growth and awakening. Remember, my dear friends, that your spiritual practice is not separate from your daily life. The awareness and discernment you cultivate in meditation should extend to every moment of your day. Be constantly aware of what you're making yourself available to. Choose consciously in each moment. Now, as we near the end of our discussion, I want to emphasize a crucial point. The principle of selective availability is not about creating a perfect, problem-free life. It's not about avoiding all challenges or difficulties. On the contrary, it's about aligning yourself with the experiences that serve your growth and evolution, even if they're challenging. Sometimes what aligns with your highest good may not feel comfortable or pleasant in the moment. A challenging situation may be exactly what you need to grow and evolve. The key is to be available to the growth opportunity within the challenge, rather than getting caught up in resistance or victim consciousness. My dear friends, the truth I speak of is this. Be confident you will get everything in life. Now you may be thinking, how can I be confident of getting everything when my current reality seems so far from my desires? This, my dear friends, is precisely where we must begin our journey of understanding. For the world you see around you is nothing more than the outpicturing of your own consciousness. It is the fruit of your past assumptions, beliefs, and imaginal acts. But here is the wonderful news. Just as your current reality is the result of your past thinking, your future reality can be shaped by your present imagination. You have within you the power to create any reality you desire. This power is your own wonderful human imagination, and it is God in action within you. Let us delve deeper into this profound truth. The Bible tells us in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. What is this Word? It is not mere letters on a page or sounds from your lips. The Word is your inner conversation, your assumptions about yourself, and the world around you. It is the mental chatter that runs through your mind day and night, shaping your reality in ways you may not even realize. When you truly grasp this concept, when you understand that your inner world is the cause and your outer world is the effect, you will begin to see why confidence in getting everything you desire is not just possible. It is the natural state of one who knows the law. But let me be clear. This confidence is not the brash arrogance of the ego. It is not a loud proclamation to the world of what you will achieve. No. The confidence I speak of is a quiet, unshakable knowing, is the calm assurance of a farmer who has planted his seeds and knows that the harvest will come in due season. This confidence comes from understanding the immutable law of assumption. This law states that if you assume a thing to be true and persist in that assumption, it must become a fact in your external world. It does not matter what your current circumstances are, what others may say, or what past experiences you've had. The law is absolute and works with mathematical precision. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Wayne, I've tried positive thinking before and it didn't work. My dear friends, positive thinking alone is not enough. You must go beyond mere surface level affirmations and embody the state of having your desire fulfilled. You must live from the end. What do I mean by living from the end? It means that instead of looking at your current reality and trying to figure out how to get what you want, you imagine that you already have it. You step into the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You create a scene in your imagination that implies your desire has already been realized. And you dwell in that scene until it feels natural and real to you. Let me give you an example. Suppose you desire financial abundance. Instead of constantly worrying about your bills or focusing on your lack, you would create a scene in your imagination where you were living the life abundance. Perhaps you imagine yourself looking at a bank statement with a substantial balance, or you feel the joy and relief of easily paying all your bills with money to spare. You would enter into this scene with all your senses. Making it as vivid and real as possible is the key. You don't just do this once and forget about it. You return to this scene again and again, especially as you fall asleep at night. You make it your new inner conversation. Instead of telling yourself, I'm always broke or I can never get ahead, you consistently assume the feeling of financial abundance. You live as though it is already true. This, my friends, is the art of confidence assumption. It is the practice of aligning your inner world with your desires, knowing that your outer world must conform to this new inner reality. Now, some of you may be wondering, but what about action? Don't I need to do something in the physical world to achieve my goals? This is a common misunderstanding. Of course, action has its place. But true inspired action flows naturally from your state of being. When you have truly assumed the state of the wish fulfilled, you will find yourself naturally taking the right actions at the right time. Consider for a moment how you would act if you already had everything you desired. Would you still be frantically searching for solutions? Would you be anxiously trying to make things happen? No, you would be calm, confident, and at peace. This is the state from which effective action springs. Remember, the outer world is dead. It has no life of its own. It is animated entirely by your consciousness. Therefore, trying to change things by manipulating the outer world is like trying to change your reflection in the mirror by touching the glass. The only way to change your reflection is to change yourself. And the mirror will faithfully reflect that change. This brings us to another crucial point, the importance of persistence. The law of assumption works with absolute precision, but it operates on its own time. Your desire may manifest immediately, or it may take weeks, months, or even years. The key is to persist in your assumption regardless of appearances. When you plant a seed in the ground, you don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You trust in the natural process of growth. You water it, you provide the right conditions, and you know that in due time it will sprout and grow into a mighty tree. Your desires are like seeds planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. Once planted through your assumption, they will grow and manifest in your reality if you persist in nurturing them with your faith and continued assumption. Now, let's address a common obstacle that many face on this path. Doubt. Doubt is the enemy of faith, and faith is essential for the operation of the law. But here's the beautiful truth. Even if you have doubts, even if you don't believe 100 that this will work, you can still succeed. How? By persisting in spite of your doubts. You see, your subconscious mind doesn't differentiate between what you consciously believe and what you imagine to be true. If you consistently imagine and feel yourself living your desire, even if your conscious mind doubts, your subconscious will accept it as fact and begin to bring it into manifestation. This is why I often say, if you will assume your desire and live there as though it were true, no power on earth can stop it from becoming a fact. Your assumptions persisted in will harden into fact regardless of any contradictory evidence presented by your senses. Let me share with you a personal experience to illustrate this point. Many years ago, when I first began to understand this law, I was living in New York City, struggling to make ends meet. I desired to travel to Barbados to visit my family, but I had no money for the trip. Instead of focusing on my lack of funds, I began to imagine myself already in Barbados. Every night as I fell asleep, I would feel the tropical breeze on my skin, hear the sound of the waves, and feel the joy of being with my family. I persisted in this assumption for several weeks, and then the most remarkable thing happened. I received a letter from my brother in Barbados containing money for a ticket to come home. The circumstances arranged themselves perfectly, and within a short time, I found myself actually in Barbados, experiencing in the flesh what I had so vividly imagined. This, my friends, is the power of confident assumption. It is the power to shape your reality through the creative use of your imagination. And this power is not limited to small things or material possessions. It extends to every aspect of your life, your relationships, your career, your health, your spiritual growth. There's nothing that exists in this world that's not first conceived in someone's imagination. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Wayne, what about other people? Don't they have free will? How can I be confident in getting everything when it involves other people's decisions? This is a common concern, but it stems from a misunderstanding of the nature of reality. You see, everyone in your world is you pushed out. They are playing the parts that your consciousness has assigned to them. As you change your concept of self, as you assume a new state of being, the people in your world must conform to this new concept. This is not about controlling others. It's about understanding that your consciousness is the only operative power in your world. Have you ever had the experience of changing your attitude towards someone only to find that their behavior towards you changed as well, even though you didn't say or do anything different externally? This is the law in action, as within, so without. This understanding liberates you from need to manipulate or control circumstances. You no longer need to worry about how things will work out or try to force situations to conform to your desires. Your only job is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and persist in that assumption. The how, when, and where of its manifestation is not your concern. That is the job of the law, which works with a wisdom far beyond your conscious reasoning. Let's take this a step further. Not only can you be confident of getting everything you desire in life, but you can also be confident in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. You see, as you begin to live from this new state of being, as you embody the person who has everything they desire, you'll find that your perception of challenges and obstacles changes. What once seemed like insurmountable problems become opportunities for growth and expansion. You begin to see every experience, whether seemingly good or bad, as a perfect reflection of your consciousness, providing you with the exact lessons and growth you need at that moment. This shift in perspective is crucial. It allows you to maintain your confidence assumption even when things don't appear to be going your way. You understand that appearances are just that. They are the shadow, not the substance. The substance is your consciousness, your inner assumption. Remember, the time it takes for your assumption to become your physical reality is proportional to the naturalness of the state. This is why it's so important to make your imaginal acts as vivid and real as possible. The more real it feels to you, the more quickly it will manifest in your outer world. Now let's address another important aspect of this practice, detachment. While it may seem contradictory, being confident that you will get everything in life also involves a degree of detachment from the outcome. This doesn't mean you don't care about the results. Rather, it means that you trust in the law so completely that you don't feel the need to constantly check for signs of its working. Think about it this way. When you order something online, you don't spend every moment wondering if it will arrive. You place the order and then you go about your life confident that it will be delivered. This is the kind of detachment I'm talking about. You place your order with the universe through your assumption, and then you relax knowing it must come to pass. This detachment also allows you to stay open to the infinite wisdom of your subconscious mind. Sometimes, what manifests may be even better than what you initially imagined. By staying detached from the specific form of your desire, you allow the law to work in ways that may surprise and delight you. Now, I want to address something that many of you may be grappling with, the concept of worthiness. Some of you may be thinking, but Wayne, how can I be confident of getting everything when I don't feel worthy? My dear friends, listen closely to this truth. You are already worthy. Your worthiness is not something you need to earn or prove. It is your birthright as a child of God. The feeling of unworthiness is simply a state, an assumption you have accepted about yourself, and like any state, it can be changed. How? By assuming a new state of worthiness, by living from the end as a person who knows their infinite worth and value. Remember, you are not a mere mortal trying to appease some external deity. You are God in action, the operant power in your world. The Bible tells us, I and my Father are one. This is not blasphemy, it is the highest truth. When you truly understand and embody this truth, confidence in getting everything you desire becomes your natural state of being. Now let's talk about the role of gratitude in this process. Gratitude is not just a nice sentiment. It is a powerful creative force. When you are grateful for what you have, even before it manifests in your physical reality, you are aligning yourself with the frequency of abundance. You are telling the universe, I intend to receive more. But here's the key. Your gratitude must be genuine. It's not about pretending to be grateful for things you don't really appreciate. It's about finding genuine reasons to be thankful, even in your current circumstances. As you cultivate this attitude of gratitude, you'll find that more and more things come into your life for which to be grateful. This brings us to another important point, the power of your words. The Bible says, death and life are in the power of the tongue. Your words are a direct reflection of your assumptions. They are declarations to the universe of what you believe to be true. Therefore, be mindful of your speech. Speak as though you already have everything you desire. Let your words reflect the state of the wish fulfilled. For instance, instead of saying, I hope to be successful someday, say, I am successful. Instead of saying, I wish I had more money, say, I am abundantly prosperous. Your words should always align with your desired state, not your current circumstances. Now, some of you may be wondering about the role of emotions in this process. Emotions are incredibly powerful. They are the fuel that gives life to your imaginal acts. When you combine vivid imagination with strong, positive emotion, you create an irresistible force that must manifest in your reality. However, it's important to understand that the emotion you're aiming for is not excitement or anticipation. These emotions imply that you don't yet have what you desire. Instead, aim for the calm satisfaction of knowing that your desire is already yours. Feel the relief, the peace, the quiet joy of having your wish fulfilled. This ties into another crucial aspect of being confident. You will get everything in life living in the state of the wish fulfilled. This means that you don't just imagine your desire for a few minutes a day and then go back to your old patterns of thought and behavior. Instead, you strive to embody the person who already has everything they desire. How would you think, feel, and act if you already had everything you wanted? How would you carry yourself? What would your daily routines look like? As you begin to live from this state, you'll find that your outer world naturally conforms to match your inner state of being. Now, I want to address something that many of you may be experiencing as you embark on this journey, the bridging of the gap. This is the period between when you start assuming your new state and when it fully manifests in your physical reality. This can often be a challenging time as your senses may be telling you one thing while you're trying to assume another. During this time, it's crucial to remember that your senses only show you the effects of your past assumptions. They do not dictate your future. Your job during this bridging period is to persist in your new assumption regardless of what your senses are telling you. This is where your faith is tested and strengthened. Think of it like this. When you decide to get in shape, you don't see results immediately. There's a period where you're putting in the work at the gym, eating right, but your body hasn't visibly changed yet. But if you persist, eventually your outer form catches up with your inner efforts. The same is true with your imaginative work. This brings us to another important point, the concept of divine timing. Sometimes your desires may manifest quickly. Other times, it may take longer than you expected. Trust that there is a divine wisdom at work orchestrating events in perfect timing for your highest good. Your job is not to try to force or rush the manifestation. Your job is simply to persist in your assumption, to live from the end and to trust in the perfect unfolding of the law. Remember, the vision has its own appointed hour. It ripens, it will flower. If it be long, then wait, for it is sure and will not be late. Now let's talk about something that many of you may be struggling. Letting go of the old story. You see, for your new assumption to take root and flourish, you must be willing to let go of your old beliefs and narratives about yourself and your life. This can be challenging, especially if you've held onto these beliefs for a long time. But remember, your old story, no matter how familiar it may be, is just that, a story. It's a series of assumptions you've made about yourself and your world. And just as you created that story, you have the power to create a new one. This process of letting go is not about fighting against your old beliefs or trying to forcefully push them away. This kind of resistance only gives them more power. Instead, it's about gently but persistently turning your attention away from the old story and towards your new assumption. Every time you catch yourself falling into old patterns of thought or behavior, simply remind yourself that's the old story. It's no longer relevant to who I am becoming. Then consciously shift your focus back to your new assumption, your new story. This practice of mental diet is crucial. Just as you are careful about what you put into your physical body, be mindful of what you're feeding your mind. Guard the portals of your mind. Be selective about the thoughts you entertain, the conversations you engage in, the media you consume. Everything should align with and support your new assumption. Now, I want to address something that many of you may be experiencing as you begin to apply these principles. The concept of revision. Revision is a powerful technique that allows you to rewrite your past and shape your present and future. The idea is simple yet profound. If you can change your memory of an event, you change its impact on your life. You see, your past only exists in your memory, and memory, like imagination, is a function of consciousness. Therefore, you have the power to revise your memories, to reimagine past events in a way that serves your present desires and future goals. This doesn't mean denying what happened. It means reinterpreting events in a way that empowers you rather than limits you. For instance, if you have a memory of failure or rejection that's holding you back, you can revise that memory. Reimagine the scene with a different outcome. See yourself succeeding, being accepted, thriving. As you practice revision, you'll find that not only does it change your relationship to your past, but it also shifts your present reality and opens up new possibilities for your future. This is because you're literally rewriting the story of your life. And as we've established, your story shapes your reality. Now let's talk about the importance of persistence. Being confident that you will get everything in life requires unwavering persistence in your assumption. This doesn't mean you never have doubts or moments of weakness. It means that despite these moments, you always return to your assumption. Think of it like learning to ride a bicycle. At first, you may wobble and fall, but you get back up and try again. Eventually, maintaining balance becomes second nature. The same is true with your assumptions. At first, it may feel unnatural to assume a state that's different from your current reality, but with practice, it becomes easier and more natural. Remember, the law is always working. It doesn't turn on and off based on your moods or temporary lapses in faith. As long as you return to your assumption and persist in it, the law will bring it to pass. This brings us to another crucial point, the importance of living in the present moment. While it's necessary to imagine and feel your desired future, it's equally important to be fully present in your current reality. Why? Because the present moment is where your power lies. It's the point of creation, the only place where you can make choices and take action. Living in the present doesn't mean ignoring your goals or desires. It means being fully engaged with your life as it is now, while simultaneously holding the consciousness of your desire fulfilled. This balance allows you to appreciate and make the most of your current circumstances while confidently moving towards your desired reality. As we near the end of our time together, I want to emphasize a fundamental truth. The confidence that you will get everything in life comes from knowing who you really are. You are not a limited, mortal being subject to the whims of an external world. You are a divine, infinite being creating your reality through your consciousness. When you truly grasp this truth, when you fully embody it, confidence becomes your natural state. You no longer need to strive or struggle to achieve your desires. You simply assume the state of the wish fulfilled, knowing that it must manifest in your physical reality. My dear friends, as you leave here today, I urge you to begin living from this new understanding. Choose an aspect of your life where you desire change. Create a scene that implies this change has already occurred. Enter into that scene with all your senses. Feel the reality of it. Then carry that feeling with you throughout your day. Watch how your perception shifts. Notice how opportunities aligned with your desire begin to present themselves. Pay attention to the subtle changes in your relationships, your circumstances, your entire world. Remember, the outer world is constantly conforming to your inner assumptions. As you maintain the feeling of your wish fulfilled, your reality has no choice but to reflect this back to you. Be patient with yourself in this process. Like any new skill, it takes practice. There may be times when you slip back into old patterns of thought. When this happens, gently but firmly bring your attention back to your desired state. Persist, and above all, have faith. Faith not in some external power, but in the creative power of your own wonderful human imagination. Trust in the law that states whatever you assume and feel to be true must and will objectify itself in your world. Go forth now and live from the end. Act as though you already have everything you desire. Feel the joy, the fulfillment, the gratitude of having all that you want. And watch and wonder as your world transforms to match your inner state. Remember, you are the operant power in your world. You are the author of your life story. Write it beautifully, live it fully, and watch as your dreams unfold into your living reality. Thank you. And may your imagination be filled with the grandest visions of your ideal life. For as you imagine and feel it to be real, so it must become. In closing, my dear friends, I want to leave you with this final thought. The journey you're embarking on, the journey of conscious creation, is the most important work you will ever do. It is nothing less than the discovery and expression of your true divine nature. As you practice these principles, as you live from the state of the wish fulfilled, you're not just changing your external circumstances, you're evolving your consciousness. You're expanding your awareness of who you truly are, what you're capable of creating. This work requires courage. It requires faith. It requires persistence. But the rewards are beyond anything you can currently imagine. For when you master the art of conscious creation, when you fully embody the truth that you are the operant power in your world, you step into a life of true freedom, joy, and limitless possibility. So go forth with confidence, my friends. Know that you have within you everything you need to create the life of your dreams. Trust in the law, persist in your assumptions, and watch as miracles unfold in your life. Remember, the world is your mirror, faithfully reflecting back to you your innermost assumptions and beliefs. As you change your inner world, your outer world must change to match it. This is the promise and the power of the law. Be bold in your imagining. Dream big. Assume states that may seem impossible from your current standpoint, for nothing is impossible to the power that resides within you. And as you walk this path, as you begin to see the fruits of your imaginative work manifesting in your reality, share this knowledge with others. Help them to awaken to their own divine nature, to their own creative power. For as more and more individuals awaken to this truth, as more and more people begin to consciously create their reality, we move closer to a world of harmony, abundance, and joy for all. This, my friends, is the great work we are all called to do. This is the true purpose of our existence, to awaken to our divine nature and to create a world that reflects the highest and best within us. So go now with confidence, with faith, with persistence. Know that you will get everything in life, for you are the creator of your reality. The power is yours. Use it wisely, use it lovingly, and watch as miracles unfold in your life and in the world around you. Thank you. And may your journey be filled with wonder, joy, and the thrill of conscious creation, for you are the operant power.